Hey everybody, it's your Bishop. I'm coming to you today from my office at New Covenant Church of Atlanta, where the Spirit of God is being poured out upon all people. Today I want to answer the question, what is an apostle? Now I don't have time in this brief video to answer that huge question. I'm going to take several episodes to do that, several video teachings, and probably going to do all of the fivefold over several weeks, maybe even months. But recently I had somebody walk up to me at church, a new person, brand new to the church, and they asked me, why do y'all call some people an apostle? And I said, that is a great question. So I decided to do some teaching on it because I have gotten other questions from other churches, from other people in the network, and I just wanted to give a brief answer. First of all, in this very first message, I want to establish this simple truth. Apostles in the New Testament, the Greek word apostle is apostolos, which means one who is sent or a sent one. Where are we sent from? What are apostles sent from, to, where, and why? Great questions. First of all, apostles are sent from Jesus to the world to establish something. Sent from the throne room to the world to establish something from the throne room in the world. I'm going to say all that one more time. We are sent from God, from the throne room, from Jesus, to the world to establish something. Now, let me give you some examples. Say I am called by God to be an apostle. I'm in the throne room. He imparts to me a grace, let's just say, for dancing. And He's anointed me to be an apostle of the dance. Let's just say that as an example. So I go out into the church, and under the direction and oversight of the covering of that local church, I begin to develop dance. I begin to dance before the Lord. And it establishes that church in prophetic apostolic movement. So I begin to move as the Spirit moves me, directs me. And that movement creates kingdom waves of glory in the atmosphere. And I establish people in that dance. I am an apostle of the dance, sent from God with dance deposited in my spirit. I release it into that church or into the world, ever how that may be, into the earth, and it establishes those around me in that. Maybe I'm an apostle of faith. I have the faith message that God deposits in me, that He's printed in my soul, my spirit, and I release it into the world, and it establishes people in faith. I believe that Billy Graham was an apostle of salvation. He went into all the earth preaching and establishing people in being born again. I believe that they're apostles of healing. They go out and their primary ministry is to establish people in healing. Not just to heal them, but to establish them in healing. To equip people with the ministry of healing. To release people in healing. Imparting healing, not just into their bodies, but into their spirit, that they can release it. It's a reproduction anointing. So dancing, prophecy, healing, miracles, signs, wonders, all of those things. When you're an apostle of something, some people are called to be an apostle of churches. And what they do is they go in and they establish churches. Maybe they start churches. Maybe they establish churches in their protocols. But apostles are sent from God to establish in the earth. Now, every believer is apostolic. Not every believer is an apostle, but every believer is apostolic. When you go into your prayer closet in the mornings, God will impart something to you to carry into the earth to establish people in. Maybe you have a 9-to-5 mainstream job. Maybe you work in finance. Maybe you're a banker. You go in there and God, you go into the prayer closet, He infuses you with success and money. So you go out into the earth, you demonstrate kingdom success, and all your coworkers are coming alongside of you going, what are you doing? How are you being so successful? And you begin to say, well, the Lord helps me, as you're able to within the protocols of your business. You begin to say, the Lord help me in this. And you begin to establish coworkers in kingdom finance principles. Then you lead them to Jesus. They're like, this stuff works. How is it working? You go, well, this, and this, and you subtly kind of get it in there. And then all of a sudden you go to lunch with them and they say, now tell me really, how are you doing this? You say, Jesus, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. If you don't know him, you need to. And all of a sudden you're an apostle to a bank. Maybe you are an apostolic anointing to the bank. Maybe you are called by God to sell insurance, whatever that may be. And you go in and you get the apostolic impartation and you release it and you establish people in it. So the apostolic anointing is getting from the throne room impressions of glory. Then you go out, you're sent out by Jesus into the earth to establish people. I am primarily an apostle to the LGBT Spirit-filled movement. God called me 20-something years ago to go into the earth and establish LGBT plus people and our straight allies in the Spirit-filled movement, in faith, in the prophetic, in the apostolic. So that is my apostolic anointing. I go out and establish LGBT plus allies in the full gospel of Jesus Christ. That's my primary. I have several secondary apostolic anointings, but that is my primary. So today I want to tell you, why do we call people apostles? Because they've been sent by God into the earth to establish something that they received from the throne room, some mantle, some anointing, some gifting. And they bring it into the earth and they establish it. We're all apostolic. Not all of us are apostles. All right, God bless you. I love you. And I'll pick this up next week in a part 2.